Come closer and let your body sink into whatever surface is holding you. Take a slow, deep breath in, and as you release it, let go of the day just for a moment. I want you to notice how you feel right here, right now. Do you feel that deep, quiet hum of tiredness? It's not the kind of exhaustion you get from running a marathon or climbing a mountain. It's a different kind of weariness, isn't it? The kind that settles in your bones even after a day where you seemingly did very little. A day spent indoors, perhaps looking out the window. A day filled with quiet tasks, emails, and small decisions. You might be telling yourself you have no right to be this tired. You might call it laziness or a lack of motivation. But I'm here to tell you, gently, that what you're feeling is not a modern failing. It's an ancient echo, a deeply human experience that has been felt by countless souls long before you. Imagine, for a moment, that you are not in your room, but in a small, quiet dwelling centuries ago. The sun has set, painting the sky in shades of deep purple and orange. The fire crackles low in the hearth. Outside, the world is still. There are no screens, no notifications, no endless lists of things to do tomorrow. Your day was spent not in meetings, but in mending a tool, watching the flock, or gathering herbs. These tasks required focus, quiet observation, and a connection to the world around you. And at the end of such a day, a profound tiredness would settle over you. Not from stress, but from being, from simply existing and engaging with your world in a mindful, present way. This feeling you have now, this bone-deep weariness, is the very same feeling. Our modern lives may seem different on the surface, but our nervous systems are still wired for that ancient rhythm. The constant stream of information, the social pressures, the notifications on your phone, each one is a small demand on your attention. It's like being a shepherd, but instead of watching a flock of sheep, you are constantly scanning a horizon filled with 1,000 tiny moving distractions. Your brain is working tirelessly, even when your body is still. It's sorting, prioritizing, and processing a world that moves at an impossible speed. So when you lie down at night and feel this profound sense of being spent, it's not because you did nothing. It's because you did everything, just on a microscopic, invisible level. You navigated a complex, demanding world, and your system is simply asking for its well-deserved rest. Give yourself permission to feel this tiredness without judgment. It is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign that you are alive and engaged with the complex tapestry of life. It's the natural, cyclical call to rest, to recharge, to return to the quiet center of your being. Let's allow our minds to drift back even further. Picture a vast, open savanna under a blanket of stars. Our earliest ancestors are gathered together, the dangers of the day now quieted by the dark. They have spent their day tracking, foraging, and staying alert to every sound and movement. Their survival depended on this constant, low-level vigilance. This state of watchfulness, of being constantly aware of the environment, is deeply embedded in our DNA. Today, we don't listen for the rustle of a predator in the tall grass. Instead, we listen for the ping of an email, the tone of a boss's voice, the unspoken expectations of our loved ones. Our modern threats are social and psychological, but our bodies react in the same primal way. The adrenal system fires up, our minds race, and our senses are heightened. We are constantly scanning our environment for social cues and potential problems. This is why a quiet day at a desk can be more exhausting than a long walk in the woods. When you are walking in nature, Your senses are engaged in a harmonious way. The sights, sounds, and smells are coherent and natural. But in a modern environment, your brain is trying to make sense of artificial lights, digital noise, and a constant flow of abstract information. It's a cognitive load that our ancestors never had to bear. So that feeling of being drained, of your mental battery being completely depleted, is a biological reality. It's your brain's way of telling you that it has been on high alert all day, running a silent marathon of vigilance and processing. Acknowledge this effort. Thank your body and your mind for working so hard to keep you safe and functioning in this world. And now, allow them to power down, to enter a state of deep and restorative peace. You have earned this rest. It is not an indulgence, it is a necessity, as vital as air and water. Now, let your focus soften and come back to your breath. Feel the gentle rise and fall of your chest. With each exhale, imagine you are releasing a small piece of that cognitive load. Let go of the need to analyze, to plan, to worry. The world will still be there tomorrow. All its demands and complexities will wait. But tonight, this time is for you. This is a sacred space for renewal. Think of your mind like a field that has been tilled all day. It needs time to lie fallow, to absorb the nutrients of rest so that new growth can happen. By allowing yourself to sleep, you are not escaping from the world. You are preparing yourself to meet it again with renewed strength and clarity. Our connection to the cycles of light and dark is profound. For millennia, human life was governed by the sun. We rose with its light, and we rested when it disappeared. The invention of artificial light changed everything. It allowed us to extend the day, to work, and socialize long into the night. But it came at a cost. We began to override our natural circadian rhythms, pushing our bodies and minds beyond their intended limits. This disconnect is a major source of modern fatigue. When you feel tired but force yourself to stay awake, scrolling on your phone, or watching another episode, you are fighting against a biological impulse that is millions of years old. You are telling your body that its signals don't matter. Tonight, let's honor that ancient rhythm. The darkness outside is not empty. It is a blanket, an invitation to stillness. It is a signal to your brain to begin producing melatonin, the hormone that guides you into sleep. By closing your eyes and allowing the darkness to envelop you, you are aligning yourself with this powerful, natural cycle. Imagine your ancestors feeling the same pull of the evening, the same gentle slide into unconsciousness. There is a deep comfort in knowing that you are part of this unbroken chain of being. Your need for rest is not a personal failing. It is a shared, universal human experience. It connects you to every person who has ever lived and dreamed. Let go of any guilt you may feel about needing to rest. Our culture often glorifies business and productivity, treating sleep as a luxury or a necessary evil. But this is a profound misunderstanding of our nature. Rest is not the opposite of activity. It is its partner. It is during sleep that our bodies repair themselves, our brains consolidate memories, and our emotional centers reset. It is an active, vital process. Think of a tree. It stands strong and reaches for the sky during the day, but it is in the darkness, deep in its roots, that it draws the nourishment it needs to grow. You are no different. Your rest is your root system. The deeper and more peaceful your rest, the stronger and more resilient you will be when you face the day. So, as you lie here, feel the support of the surface beneath you. Feel the gentle pull of gravity holding you securely to the earth. There is nothing you need to do, nothing you need to solve. Your only task is to surrender. Surrender to the tiredness. Surrender to the stillness. Surrender to the night. Let the quiet sounds of your environment become a lullaby. The hum of a fan, the distant rumble of a car, the creak of the house settling. These are the sounds of your world at rest, and you can join it. Allow your thoughts to drift by like clouds in the night sky. Don't cling to them. Don't fight them. Just observe them and let them go. Your breath is your anchor. Each time your mind wanders, gently guide it back to the simple sensation of breathing in and breathing out. This is your path to peace. The feeling of being tired is a message. It is your body speaking to you in its oldest and wisest language. It is saying, it is time. It is time to let go. It is time to heal. It is time to dream. Listen to this message with kindness and compassion. You have done enough for today. You are enough just as you are. As you drift closer to sleep, know that you are safe, you are held, and you are participating in an ancient and beautiful ritual of renewal. Allow the gentle waves of sleep to wash over you, cleansing away the weariness of the day and preparing you for the fresh start of a new morning. Sleep well. Imagine for a moment the sun has just dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in soft shades of purple and orange. The air grows cooler and the world begins to quiet down. Picture yourself not in your bed, not in your room, but somewhere else, a long, long time ago. You are one of our earliest ancestors, gathered with your clan around the gentle, flickering glow of a fire. The day's work is done. The hunt, the gathering, the tending to the young ones all. The efforts that filled the daylight hours are now complete. As darkness falls, it brings a natural, unspoken signal for rest. There are no screens to look at, no deadlines to meet, no emails to answer. There is only the crackling of the fire, the soft murmur of voices, and the vast, star-dusted canopy of the night sky above. In this ancient world, rest wasn't a luxury. It wasn't something earned or something to feel guilty about. It was simply part of the day's rhythm, as natural and necessary as the rising of the sun. Effort and rest were two sides of the same coin, a beautiful, balanced dance. When the sun was high, they moved with purpose. When the moon and stars appeared, they settled into stillness. Their bodies and minds understood this primal cycle. The darkness was a blanket, a permission slip to let go, to recharge, to simply be. They didn't fight, sleep, or worry about being unproductive. The very structure of their world was built around these natural rhythms. The setting sun wasn't an end, but a transition, a time for stories to be told around the fire, for lessons to be shared, for bonds to be strengthened through shared quiet. It was a time for the body to heal and the mind to dream. This wasn't a conscious decision, it was instinct, an innate understanding that to be strong for the next day's challenges, the night required surrender, peace, and deep, unapologetic rest. As you listen to the sound of my voice, let yourself sink into that same feeling, that feeling of ancient, guilt-free rest. Let the darkness outside your window be your signal, just as it was for them. A signal to let go of the day's efforts, to release the tensions you've been holding, and to allow your body and mind to follow their own natural rhythm toward sleep. There is nothing else you need to do right now, nothing to solve, nothing to figure out. Your only task is to breathe, to be still, and to let the quiet of the night embrace you. just as it has for countless generations before you. Let's take a deep breath together. Inhale slowly, filling your lungs with calm, and exhale, letting go of any lingering thoughts from the day. Feel the weight of your body supported by your bed. Notice the gentle rise and fall of your chest with each breath. You are safe, you are comfortable, and you are ready for rest. Think about the cycles of nature. The ocean tides ebb and flow. The moon waxes and wanes. The seasons change from the burst of life in spring to the deep slumber of winter. Nature doesn't rush, it doesn't worry. It operates on its own perfect timetable. Your body is a part of this nature. It has its own seasons, its own tides, and right now it is the season of rest. The tide is going out, carrying with it the busyness of the day, leaving behind a shore of peace and tranquility. Imagine a gentle stream flowing through a quiet forest. The water moves effortlessly, finding its way around stones and over fallen leaves. It doesn't struggle, it simply flows. Allow your mind to become like that stream. If a thought appears, see it as a leaf floating on the water. Acknowledge it, and then watch as it gently floats by, continuing on its journey downstream, leaving the water clear and calm once more. You don't need to hold onto the leaves. You can just let them go. Let's return to that ancient campfire. The flames dance and sway, casting long, soft shadows. The warmth spreads out, a comforting presence in the cool night air. The storyteller of the clan begins to speak, their voice a low, soothing melody. The stories aren't complicated. They are tales of the stars, of the animals in the forest, of the spirits of the mountains. They are stories that connect them to their world, to each other, and to the great mystery of life. The purpose of these stories isn't just entertainment. It's to ease the mind into a state of receptivity, a state that hovers between waking and dreaming. The rhythmic cadence of the storyteller's voice is like a lullaby, gently guiding the listeners toward sleep. The children are already curled up, fast asleep. The adults listen with heavy eyelids, their bodies relaxing more and more with each passing word. You, too, can allow my voice to be that guide, a gentle current carrying you toward the shores of sleep. You don't need to analyze the words or even follow them closely. Just let the sound wash over you. Let it be the background music to your own journey into rest. Feel your muscles becoming heavy and loose. Your arms, your legs, your shoulders. Let go of the need to hold them up. Your bed is supporting them completely. Notice the space between your eyebrows. Let it soften. Release any tension in your jaw. Let your tongue rest gently in your mouth. Allow a feeling of peacefulness to spread from the top of your head down through your face, your neck, and your shoulders. Feel this wave of relaxation move down your arms, all the way to your fingertips. Feel it flow down your back, your chest, and your stomach, soothing every part of you. This wave of calm continues down through your hips, your thighs, your knees, and all the way to the very tips of your toes. Your entire body is now relaxed, heavy, and at peace. The world our ancestors lived in was full of challenges, but it was also simpler in this one profound way. They honored the rhythm of rest. They understood that energy was a finite resource that needed to be replenished. They didn't see rest as a sign of weakness, but as a vital part of strength. By resting deeply, they were preparing themselves for whatever the next sunrise would bring. As you lie here, drifting closer to sleep, you are honoring that same ancient wisdom. You are giving your body and mind the gift they need most, the gift of restoration, the gift of peace. In this quiet moment, you are reconnecting with a part of yourself that is timeless, a part of you that knows, deep down, how to let go and find true, rejuvenating rest. The fire is now just glowing embers. The stories have ended. A profound stillness settles over the camp. The only sounds are the chirping of crickets and the whisper of the night breeze. Everyone is asleep, safe in the embrace of the night. And you, too, are ready to join them. Ready to drift into a deep and peaceful sleep. Let go now. Surrender to the quiet. Allow the gentle waves of drowsiness to carry you away. There is nothing left to do but rest. Sleep well, dream peacefully, and know that you will wake up refreshed, ready for a new day. Thank you for listening. Follow our channel for more peaceful nights. Have you ever noticed the quiet hum in the back of your mind? The one that never seems to switch off. It's the voice that replays conversations from yesterday, the one that rehearses what you'll say tomorrow. It's the part of you that's already living 3 steps ahead, planning for a future that hasn't arrived, worrying about problems that might never happen. This isn't just a modern problem. This quiet weight, this ceaseless mental chatter, is as old as humanity itself. Imagine an ancient hunter thousands of years ago. As he sits by the fire, you might think his mind is still, but it's not. He's thinking about the tracks he saw earlier, wondering if they belong to a predator. He's planning the next day's hunt, calculating the risks. Even then, in the deep silence of the ancient world, the human mind was a busy, restless place. Our brains are wired for this. They are magnificent planning machines, designed to anticipate threats and secure our survival. But in a world where most of those ancient threats are gone, this incredible tool can sometimes turn on itself. It's like leaving a dozen apps running in the background of your phone slowly, quietly. They deplete the battery until there's nothing left. But what if we could learn to close some of those apps? What if we could find a little more quiet in the constant noise? Let's take a gentle journey together, away from the endless to-do lists and the what-if scenarios. Let's find a space where we can simply be. Let your body feel supported by the surface beneath you. There's nothing you need to do right now. Nowhere you need to be. Just give yourself this moment. Close your eyes if that feels right for you, or soften your gaze on a point in front of you. Let's start with a deep breath. Breathe in slowly through your nose, feeling your chest and belly expand. And as you breathe out, imagine you are releasing some of that mental weight. Let it go. Take another slow, deep breath in, filling your lungs completely, and a long, slow breath out. With each exhale, feel a little more tension melting away. For the next few moments, just focus on this simple, natural process. The rise and fall of your chest, the feeling of air entering and leaving your body. As you rest here, thoughts will naturally arise. That's what minds do. You might start planning dinner, or remember an email you forgot to send. That's perfectly okay. Don't try to fight these thoughts or push them away. Instead, imagine them as clouds floating across a vast blue sky. Acknowledge them, see them for what they are, just thoughts, and then gently let them drift by. Return your focus again and again to the anchor of your breath. The sky doesn't get angry at the clouds. It simply allows them to pass. Your awareness can be like that sky, spacious, calm and undisturbed. Now, bring your awareness to your body. Start with your feet. Notice any sensations there, the warmth, the coolness, the feeling of your socks, or the floor beneath them. You don't need to change anything, just notice. Slowly, move your attention up to your ankles, your calves, and your knees. Are there any areas of tightness or tension? If you find any, just breathe into that space. Imagine your breath carrying a sense of softness and release to that area. Continue this gentle scan up through your thighs, your hips, and your lower back. This part of our body often holds so much tension from sitting or standing all day. Bring your awareness now to your stomach and your chest. Feel the gentle movement here as you breathe. Let your shoulders drop away from your ears. We often carry the weight of our responsibilities in our shoulders, hunching them forward without even realizing it. Let them be heavy. Let them relax. Feel this wave of relaxation flow down your arms, through your elbows, and into your hands. Notice your hands. Are they clenched or open? Let your fingers curl naturally. Finally, bring your attention to your neck, your jaw, and your face. This is another place where we hold hidden tension. See if you can unclench your jaw. Let there be a little space between your top and bottom teeth. Soften the tiny muscles around your eyes and in your forehead. Let your entire face feel smooth and relaxed. For a moment, just rest in this state of full body awareness, feeling the gentle hum of aliveness within you, free from the need to do or to fix. You are simply here, present and at peace. Imagine yourself now standing in a quiet, ancient forest. The air is cool and smells of damp earth and pine needles. Tall, wise trees tower above you, their leaves filtering the sunlight into a soft, dappled green glow. There is no rush here. There is no deadline. The forest operates on its own time, a slow and patient rhythm of growth and decay, of seasons turning. As you walk along a soft, mossy path, you feel the ground yielding gently beneath your feet. You are completely safe here. The forest holds you in its peaceful embrace. You come to a small clearing where a crystal clear stream flows over smooth, gray stones. The sound of the water is mesmerizing, a soft, constant music that washes away any lingering thoughts or worries. You can dip your fingers into the cool, refreshing water. Watch as it ripples and flows around them, endlessly moving, endlessly pure. This stream is like your awareness. It can be clear and flowing, not stuck on any single rock or obstacle. Find a comfortable spot to sit by the stream, perhaps on a large, sun-warmed rock or leaning against the sturdy trunk of an old oak tree. As you sit here, you notice the details. A single, vibrant wildflower growing in the moss, a ladybug crawling slowly along a fern frond, a feather that has drifted down from a branch above. The world is full of these small, simple wonders when we take the time to notice them. They don't demand our attention or ask us to solve a problem. They just exist in perfect, quiet beauty. In this peaceful place, you can give yourself permission to let go of the need to control everything. The forest doesn't worry about whether the sun will rise tomorrow. The stream doesn't fret about where it's going. They simply are. You too can tap into this state of being. You can trust that you have the strength and resources to handle whatever comes your way when it arrives. But right now, in this moment, you don't have to handle anything. You only have to breathe. You only have to be. Stay in your forest clearing for a few more moments, soaking in the deep peace and tranquility. This place is a part of you. It's a sanctuary within your own mind that you can return to whenever you need a moment of respite. It's always there, waiting for you. You just have to remember the path. When you feel ready, gently begin to bring your awareness back to the room you are in. Start to notice the sounds around you again. Feel the surface you are resting on. Wiggle your fingers and your toes, slowly reawakening your body. Don't rush. Carry that sense of inner peace with you as you transition back. When you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes. Take a moment to just sit, noticing how you feel. Perhaps a little lighter, a little calmer, a little more spacious. You can return to your breath, to your body, anytime the noise of the world feels like too much. You have the power to close the apps and recharge your battery. Thank you for sharing this time with me. Take this feeling of calm with you into the rest of your day. If you enjoyed this journey, consider subscribing for more moments of peace. Be well. The sun bleeds across the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple. Imagine you're a medieval artisan, say a leather worker in a bustling town. You close your shop for the day. Your back isn't broken from hauling stones. Your hands aren't raw from plowing a field. You've spent your day sitting, stitching, tooling leather. Yet, as you walk through the darkening streets, a profound exhaustion settles over you. A heavy, weary feeling that has little to do with physical labor. Why? What could possibly be so draining about a day spent at a workbench? You might think life was simpler then, free from the endless notifications and digital noise of our modern world. The mental load was immense, a constant, humming pressure that we often overlook. Let's break down this mental exhaustion. First, there's the sheer uncertainty of survival. You didn't just worry about paying bills. You worried about having enough food to last the week. A bad harvest miles away could mean the price of bread skyrockets. A sudden illness wasn't an inconvenience. It could be a death sentence. There was no safety net, no insurance, no government support. Every single day was a gamble against starvation, disease, and misfortune. This constant low-level anxiety, the what-if game playing on a loop, is incredibly draining. It's like having a dozen browser tabs open in your brain, all of them flashing urgent warnings. Then there was the social pressure. In a small, tight-knit community, everyone knew your business. Your reputation was your currency. A single misstep, a rumor, a perceived slight against someone important could ruin you. You weren't just an individual. You were a member of a family, a guild, a parish. Your actions reflected on everyone connected to you. You had to navigate a complex web of social hierarchies and obligations. Who do you bow to? Who do you offer a drink? Who do you avoid? Every interaction was a careful calculation. This constant performance, the need to maintain your social standing, is mentally taxing. It's like being on stage from the moment you wake up until you fall asleep. And let's not forget the weight of religion. In the medieval world, faith wasn't a private matter. It permeated every aspect of life. The church bells marked your day, your morality, your purpose, your very understanding of the universe was filtered through a religious lens. This brought comfort to many, but it also brought a heavy burden. The fear of divine punishment, the concept of sin, the pressure to be pious and pure. These weren't abstract ideas. They were felt as real and present dangers. Every thought, every action was judged not just by your neighbors, but by an all-seeing God. The mental effort required to constantly police your own soul, to worry about eternal damnation, is a kind of exhaustion we can barely comprehend today. So, our medieval leatherworker arrives home. The sounds of the town, the distant cry of a vendor, the laughter from a tavern, the barking of a dog fade as he closes his wooden door. He hasn't run a marathon, but his mind has. It has been racing all day, navigating threats, managing social cues, and wrestling with existential dread. This historical perspective is incredibly soothing, isn't it? It shows us that mental fatigue, burnout, and anxiety are not modern inventions. They are part of the human condition. We often feel guilty for being mentally tired. We think, I haven't done anything physically demanding. Why am I so exhausted? We look at our ancestors and imagine a simpler, more robust existence. But they were just as human as we are. They felt the same pressures, just in a different form. Their stressors were immediate and visceral. Will I eat tomorrow? Will my child survive the fever? Will I be cast out of my community? Our stressors are often more abstract and chronic. Am I living up to my potential? What is my career path? Am I happy? Am I doing enough? Both are valid. Both are exhausting. The difference is that our medieval artisan didn't have the language to describe what he was feeling. He wouldn't have called it anxiety or burnout. He might have called it a weariness of the spirit, a heavy heart, or perhaps even a spiritual affliction. He wouldn't have had podcasts or therapy or self-help books to turn to. His coping mechanisms were different. Prayer, community rituals, the rhythm of the seasons, the shared stories and songs of his culture. Understanding this shared history of mental struggle can be incredibly liberating. It connects us to the past in a deeply empathetic way. It validates our own feelings. When you feel that sense of mental exhaustion settling in after a day of emails, meetings, and digital interactions, remember our leatherworker. Remember that you are part of a long, unbroken chain of humans who have navigated the complexities of their world and felt weary from the effort. Your mind is a powerful tool, constantly working, processing, and protecting you, just as it did for our ancestors. And just like any muscle, it needs rest. It's okay to feel tired. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of being alive, engaged, and human. The challenges have changed, but the fundamental experience of navigating a complex world remains the same. So the next time you feel that mental fatigue, don't be so hard on yourself. Take a moment, breathe, and know that you are in good company, stretching all the way back through the centuries. This perspective can also help us appreciate the tools we have today. While our world has its own unique pressures, we also have an unprecedented understanding of mental health. We have language to name our struggles. We have access to resources, support systems, and knowledge that our ancestors could only dream of. We can talk about anxiety, depression, and burnout openly. We can seek help without the same level of stigma. If you ever feel that your mental load is becoming too much to bear, please know there are people who can help. Reaching out to a mental health professional, a helpline, or even a trusted friend is a sign of incredible strength. So, let's learn from our medieval counterpart. Let's acknowledge the mental work we do every day. Let's be kinder to ourselves when we feel that deep, soul-level exhaustion. And let's be grateful for the understanding and support available to us now. The sun has set on our leatherworker's day, and he finds his rest. Let's make sure we find ours, too. Thanks for watching, and if this resonated with you, consider subscribing for more thoughts on the human experience. Take care. Have you ever felt like you're running on a clock that isn't your own? Let's talk about that feeling. For centuries, our lives were guided by the sun and the seasons. We woke with the dawn, worked through the light, and rested when darkness fell. Our internal clocks, our natural rhythms, were perfectly in sync with the world around us. But then, something changed. The invention of the factory clock brought a new kind of time into our lives. Suddenly, it wasn't the sun dictating our day, but the relentless tick-tock of a machine. The factory whistle became the new rooster's crow. It told people when to start, when to break, and when to stop, day in, day out. This wasn't about the natural flow of energy. It was about maximizing output. Time became money, and every second had to be accounted for. The idea was simple. More hours worked meant more products made. Productivity became the ultimate goal. And to achieve it, the human body's need for rest, for ebbs and flows of energy, was pushed aside. This new rhythm was rigid, unyielding. It didn't care if you were a morning person or a night owl. It didn't care if you felt a burst of energy in the afternoon or a slump mid-morning. Everyone had to conform to the same schedule. And with this shift, a new kind of exhaustion began to creep into our lives. It wasn't just the tiredness you feel after a long day of hard, physical labor. It was a deeper, more persistent fatigue, a feeling of being constantly drained, of never quite catching up on rest. Our bodies were trying to follow their own ancient rhythms, while society was forcing them onto a completely different track. This constant pull in two different directions. This conflict between our internal nature and the external demands is the root of the pervasive tiredness so many of us feel today. It's a quiet battle being fought within us every single day. This culture of productivity didn't stay within the factory walls. It expanded, weaving itself into the very fabric of our society. The school bell, the 9-to-5 workday, the deadlines, the endless to-do lists, they are all descendants of that original factory clock. We started to measure our worth by how much we could accomplish, how busy we were. "I'm so busy" became a strange badge of honor. We internalized this pressure, becoming our own strict timekeepers. We started to feel guilty for resting, for taking a moment to do nothing at all. We convinced ourselves that rest was a luxury, something to be earned after all the work was done. But the work is never truly done, is it? And so, we push through. We drink another cup of coffee. We stay up a little later to finish one more task. We scroll through our phones when our minds are begging for a break. We've become experts at ignoring our body's signals. That feeling of a heavy head in the afternoon, we call it the 3 p.m. slump, and power through, trouble falling asleep at night. We blame stress, but continue the same frantic pace the next day. We've normalized being tired. It's just a part of modern life, we tell ourselves. But what if it doesn't have to be? What if this constant state of exhaustion isn't a personal failing, but a societal problem? Imagine for a moment what it would be like to listen to your body again, to wake up without an alarm clock, feeling genuinely refreshed, to work when you feel most focused and creative, and to rest when your energy naturally wanes. It sounds like a dream, doesn't it? But reclaiming our natural rhythms might be more possible than we think. It starts with a small, radical act, giving ourselves permission to rest, not as a reward, but as a necessity, just like breathing or eating. This isn't about abandoning our responsibilities or becoming unproductive. In fact, it's quite the opposite. When we are well rested, we are more creative, more focused, and more efficient. True productivity isn't about working longer hours. It's about working smarter. And working smarter means working in harmony with our body's natural energy cycles. So, how do we start to disconnect from the factory clock and reconnect with our own internal one? It begins with observation. Start paying attention to your own energy levels throughout the day. When do you feel most alert? When do you feel that dip in energy? Don't judge it, just notice it. Maybe you're a lion who wakes up early, ready to go, and is most productive in the morning. Or perhaps you're a bear whose energy follows the sun, peaking midday and winding down in the evening. You might be a wolf who comes alive at night, or a dolphin who has a more fragmented sleep and energy pattern. There's no right or wrong way to be. Understanding your own chronotype is the first step toward working with your body, not against it. Once you have a better sense of your natural rhythm, you can start making small adjustments. If you have some flexibility in your schedule, try to tackle your most demanding tasks during your peak energy hours. Save the easier, more routine tasks for when your energy is lower. This simple shift can make a huge difference in how productive you feel and how much energy you have left at the end of the day. It's about aligning your to-do list with your energy flow. And let's talk about breaks. I mean real breaks. Not just scrolling through social media for 5 minutes. Step away from your screen. Go outside and get some sunlight. Stretch your body. Let your mind wander. These moments of unstructured time are not wasted. They are essential for mental and physical restoration. Think of them as opportunities for your brain to reset and recharge. Even a few minutes of mindful rest can prevent burnout and boost your creativity for the rest of the day. The quality of our sleep is another crucial piece of the puzzle. The blue light from our screens, our phones, tablets, and computers can trick our brains into thinking it's still daytime, disrupting the production of melatonin, the hormone that helps us sleep. Try creating a digital sunset for yourself. An hour or two before bed, put your devices away. Instead, read a book, listen to calming music, take a warm bath, or do some gentle stretching. Create a relaxing wind-down routine that signals to your body that it's time to prepare for rest. Making your bedroom a sanctuary for sleep, cool, dark, and quiet, can also dramatically improve your sleep quality. And finally, let's practice self-compassion. There will be days when you don't stick to your ideal schedule. There will be times when life gets in the way and you feel tired and overwhelmed. That's okay. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. It's about unlearning the guilt associated with rest and relearning the art of listening to our bodies. It's a gentle rebellion against the culture of constant busyness. It's choosing to honor our human needs over the relentless demands of a machine-driven world. This journey back to our natural rhythm is a quiet, personal revolution. It's about reclaiming our time, our energy, and our well-being. It's about remembering that we are not machines. We are biological beings, deeply connected to the natural world. And by honoring that connection, by syncing our lives more closely with our own internal clocks, we can move from a state of constant exhaustion to one of vitality and balance. We can find a more sustainable, more humane way of living and working. Let's start today. Let's take a deep breath and give ourselves permission to just be. Thank you so much for watching. If this resonated with you, please consider subscribing for more reflections on living a more mindful life. Have you ever laid perfectly still, maybe in the quiet of the night, trying to find sleep? but your mind just refuses to rest. You tell your body to relax. You focus on your breathing, yet the thoughts keep coming, one after another, an endless stream. It's a strange feeling, isn't it? Your body is completely at rest, but your mind is running a marathon. Why does my brain insist on being so busy when all I want is a little peace and quiet? Even when we're not actively thinking about a problem, not reading, not talking, not even watching something, our brain is humming with activity. This isn't a flaw in our design. It's a feature, a testament to the incredible organ nestled within our skulls. For centuries, we thought of the resting brain as being idle, like a computer in sleep mode, just waiting for the next command. But modern science has shown us that this couldn't be further from the truth. The resting brain is a hive of activity, a vibrant, dynamic world, all its own. This internal chatter has a name, the default mode network, or DMN. Think of it as your brain's screensaver. But instead of flying toasters, it's a deeply personal and complex slideshow of you. The DMN is what kicks in when you're not focused on an external task. It's the network that lets you daydream, reflect on your past, think about the future, and consider what others might be thinking. It's the part of your brain that's responsible for your sense of self, the continuous story of who you are. So when you're lying there, seemingly doing nothing, your brain is actually engaged in one of its most important jobs, maintaining and making sense of your identity. It's weaving together the threads of your life, connecting past experiences with future possibilities. This idea of an ever-active inner world isn't just a recent scientific discovery. If we look back through history, we see that humans have always been fascinated by this internal landscape. Ancient philosophers, from the Stoics in Greece and Rome to the sages in the East, spent a great deal of time exploring the nature of thought. They didn't have fMRI scanners, but through deep introspection and meditation, they recognized that the mind has a life of its own. They developed practices to observe this stream of consciousness without getting swept away by it. They understood that within this constant flow of thoughts lay clues to our deepest desires, fears, and values. Think of someone like Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor who, amidst the chaos of ruling an empire, would retreat into his own mind. His writings, known as the Meditations, are a direct product of his default mode network. They are his private reflections, his attempts to make sense of his life, his duties, and his place in the universe. He was, in a way, having a conversation with himself, exploring the very same inner world that keeps you awake at night. He wasn't trying to silence his thoughts, but to understand them, to listen to what they were telling him. This brings us to a gentler way of looking at those restless nights. Instead of fighting the stream of thoughts, what if we simply observed it? What if we saw it not as an enemy of sleep, but as our brain doing its natural, necessary work? The default mode network is like a diligent librarian, constantly organizing and shelving the books of your experience. When you're trying to sleep, the library is quiet, and the librarian's work becomes more noticeable. The shuffling of books, the footsteps down the aisles, it all seems louder, but it's just the brain's quiet, steady process of housekeeping. Let's break down what's happening. The DMN connects several different brain regions, including parts of the prefrontal cortex, which is involved in planning and personality, and the temporal lobe, which handles memory. When these areas talk to each other, they create this rich inner experience. It's your brain consolidating memories from the day, trying to learn from what happened. Did you have a difficult conversation? Your brain might be replaying it, trying to understand the other person's perspective or figure out what you could have said differently. This isn't to make you anxious. It's a learning process. It's your brain's way of preparing you for future social interactions. It's also thinking about the future. Maybe you have a big presentation coming up or a trip you're planning. Your DMN will start to simulate possibilities, running through different scenarios. This is your brain's incredible ability to time travel, to project itself forward and anticipate what might happen. It's a powerful tool for planning and problem solving. So, that feeling of your mind racing about tomorrow isn't just anxiety. It's also your brain's proactive, creative engine at work. Understanding this can change our relationship with our own minds. Instead of frustration, we can feel a sense of awe. This inner monologue is a sign of a healthy, functioning brain. It's the source of our creativity, our empathy, and our ability to learn and grow. The very thing that sometimes keeps us from sleep is also what allows us to write a novel, invent a new technology, or simply understand a friend's feelings. It's all connected. So, the next time you find yourself lying still with thoughts flowing like a river, try not to build a dam. Instead, imagine yourself sitting on the riverbank, just watching the water go by. You don't have to jump in. You don't have to analyze every drop. Just observe. Notice the thoughts as they come and go. A memory from childhood floats by. A worry about work follows. Then, a plan for breakfast. See them for what they are, the natural, beautiful activity of your incredible brain. This practice of gentle observation is at the heart of mindfulness. It's not about emptying the mind, which is an impossible task. It's about changing your relationship to what's in your mind. By simply noticing without judgment, you can create a little bit of space between you and your thoughts. In that space, you can find peace. You might notice that as you watch the thoughts without latching onto them, their power diminishes. The river begins to flow more slowly. The current becomes less turbulent. And sometimes, in that quiet space of observation, sleep comes naturally. It arrives not because you forced it, but because you allowed your mind to do its work without resistance. You've acknowledged the librarian, let them finish their sorting, and in the ensuing calm, you can finally rest. This connection between ancient wisdom and modern neuroscience teaches us a profound lesson. Our inner world is not something to be conquered, but something to be understood and befriended. It is the very essence of who we are. Thank you so much for joining me on this quiet exploration. I hope this brings you a little more peace. If you enjoyed this, please consider subscribing for more moments of calm reflection. Have you ever had one of those days where you're just sitting still, maybe on your couch or at your desk, and you feel completely exhausted? You haven't run a marathon. You haven't done any heavy lifting, but the feeling of being utterly drained is just overwhelming. It's a heavy, deep-seated tiredness that no amount of rest seems to touch. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone, and what you're feeling is very real. This isn't just physical fatigue. It's a different kind of exhaustion, one that comes from within. It's the weight of your thoughts, your feelings, and your memories. Today, we're going to gently explore this feeling, this quiet exhaustion that can settle over us even when our bodies are at rest. We'll talk about why it happens and how we can begin to understand it with a little more kindness and compassion for ourselves. So, let's take a moment together. Just breathe. Find a comfortable position and just be here. I want you to imagine that you're holding a backpack. Throughout your day, Every little thing you experience gets placed inside. Some memories are beautiful, bringing a smile to our face, but others can be heavy. These aren't just the big, traumatic events. They can be subtle, lingering feelings from past disappointments, rejections, or failures. Think of it this way. Your brain is like a computer with many programs running in the background. Even if you're only looking at one window, those background processes are still using up the computer's power and memory. Our past experiences are like those background programs. A memory of a past argument might be subtly coloring a current conversation. A fear rooted in a childhood experience might be making you anxious about a new opportunity. You might not even be consciously aware that these old files are open, but they are still running, still consuming your mental and emotional energy. This constant low-level processing of past pains and unresolved feelings is incredibly draining. It's like trying to drive a car with the emergency brake slightly engaged. You can still move forward, but it takes so much more effort, and you'll burn through your fuel much faster. Acknowledging that our past is actively present with us isn't about dwelling on it, but about understanding where a significant portion of our energy is going. Then there's the weight of expectation. This is a particularly tricky one because it often comes from a place of wanting to do well and be good. We have expectations for ourselves. I should be more productive. I should be a better friend. I should be happier. We also carry the perceived expectations of others, our family, our boss, society. It's like you're constantly performing in a play, trying to hit all your marks and deliver all your lines perfectly. The script is written by a combination of your own ambitions and what you believe others want from you. This creates a relentless internal pressure. Every decision, every action is measured against this ideal standard. Did I do enough today? Was that the right thing to say? Am I living up to my potential? This constant self-evaluation and striving is exhausting. It leaves no room for rest, no space for simply being. You're always on, always calculating your next move. It's like holding a difficult yoga pose for hours on end. At first, you feel strong and capable, but eventually, your muscles start to shake, and all you can think about is the relief of letting go. This mental and emotional striving, this chase after a perfect version of ourselves, is a huge drain on our inner resources. So, we have this heavy backpack of our daily emotional load. Our minds are running background programs from our past, and we're constantly trying to live up to a mountain of expectations. It's no wonder we feel so tired. The first step, and perhaps the most important one, is simply to acknowledge this. To say to yourself, with kindness, it makes sense that I feel this way. I am carrying a lot. This isn't about making excuses. It's about validation. It's about giving yourself permission to feel what you feel without judgment. Imagine telling a friend who is struggling, "You just need to try harder." You probably wouldn't. You'd offer them compassion. We need to learn to offer that same compassion to ourselves. The exhaustion you feel is a signal. It's your body and mind telling you that the load is too heavy. It's an invitation to pause, to look inside that backpack, and to see what you can set down. What does setting things down look like? It doesn't mean ignoring your problems or pretending your feelings don't exist. It's about consciously creating moments of release. One simple way is through intentional breathing. Redefining success on your own terms is a radical act of self-care. It's about shifting from a mindset of constant striving to one of gentle acceptance. This doesn't mean you stop having goals, but it means you approach them with more grace and less self-criticism. It's about unhooking your self-worth from your productivity. You are valuable simply because you are, not because of what you do. Remember, healing from this kind of deep exhaustion is not a race. It's a slow, gentle process of learning to listen to yourself and respond with kindness. Some days will be easier than others. On the hard days, be extra gentle. Maybe that means canceling plans, ordering takeout instead of cooking, or just allowing yourself to lie down and do nothing. This isn't laziness, it's vital restoration. It's charging your battery. If this feeling of exhaustion is persistent and overwhelming, please consider reaching out for support. Talking to a therapist or a trusted friend can provide a safe space to unpack your emotional backpack with someone who can help you carry the load. You don't have to do this alone. There is strength in asking for help. So, the next time you find yourself sitting quietly, feeling that profound sense of tiredness, I hope you can greet it with a little more understanding. See it not as a failure, but as a message, a call to be gentle with yourself, a reminder to check in on the weight you're carrying, the memories you're processing, and the expectations you're holding. Take a breath, set one small pebble down. That is where the journey back to feeling rested and whole begins. It starts in these quiet moments of self-compassion. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Be kind to yourself, and remember to subscribe for more conversations about gentle living. Take a slow, deep breath in and let it go. Feel the weight of the day begin to lift as you settle into this moment of quiet. Isn't it strange how we chase after the newest, the fastest, the most efficient ways to live? Yet, when it comes to true rest, we often find ourselves looking back to simpler times, to older, wiser ways of being. Think about the generations before us. They understood the rhythm of the sun, the turning of the seasons. They knew that work had its time, and rest was not a luxury, but a necessity, a sacred part of the cycle. They practiced a kind of patience that seems almost foreign to us now. Patience with the earth, patience with each other, and most importantly, patience with themselves. They didn't have apps to track their sleep or biohacks to optimize their energy. Their secret was acceptance. Acceptance that some days are for sowing and others for reaping. Acceptance that the body has limits and the mind needs stillness. They understood that you can't force a flower to bloom or hurry the arrival of dawn. There was a deep, unspoken trust in the natural flow of life. We've filled our lives with so much noise, so many demands and expectations, that we've forgotten this ancient wisdom. We fight against our own tiredness, labeling it as weakness, when it is simply our body's honest and gentle plea for peace. So tonight, let's not fight. Let's not strive or optimize. Let's return. Let's journey back to that quiet, knowing place within us, the one that remembers how to truly rest. Let's rediscover the lost arts of patience and acceptance, and allow ourselves to simply be. As you continue to breathe, let your attention drift to your body. Notice where you are holding tension. Perhaps it's in your jaw, your shoulders, or your hands. Without judgment, simply notice it. And with your next exhale, imagine that tension dissolving, like sugar melting in warm water. Give yourself permission to let go. You don't need to hold on so tightly anymore. The day is done. The tasks are finished, or they can wait. Nothing is as urgent as this moment of peace. Think about patience. Not the frustrating kind of waiting in a long line, but a gentle, trusting patience. The kind a gardener has, planting a seed and knowing that with water, sun, and time, it will grow. Your rest is like that seed. You cannot rush it. You can only create the right conditions for it to flourish. You have created those conditions now. You are here in this safe and comfortable space, ready to nurture your own well-being. And now, consider acceptance. True acceptance is a soft landing. It's looking at yourself with all your beautiful imperfections and saying, it's okay. It's okay that you didn't get everything done. It's okay that you felt overwhelmed or frustrated. It's okay that you are tired. You are a human being, not a machine. You are designed to feel, to experience, to ebb and to flow. Accepting your tiredness is the first step toward true rejuvenation. It's not a sign of failure. It's a signal of your humanity. It's your body's way of saying, I've worked hard for you. Now, let me recover. So, honor that signal. Thank your body for all it has done for you today. Thank it for carrying you, for thinking for you, for feeling for you, and promise it this well-deserved period of deep, uninterrupted rest. Let your mind begin to quiet down. Thoughts may still arise, like clouds passing in the sky. That's perfectly normal. Don't try to fight them or push them away. Simply observe them from a distance, without getting caught up in their stories. Imagine each thought is a leaf, floating gently down a calm/slow-moving stream. Watch it appear, float by, and then drift out of sight. Another thought may come, another leaf on the water. Just watch it go. You are not your thoughts. You are the quiet, peaceful observer, resting on the riverbank. There is nothing you need to figure out right now. No problems you need to solve. The only thing you need to do is rest. Let a feeling of warmth and heaviness spread through your body, starting from the tips of your toes. Imagine a gentle, golden light, warm and soothing, slowly filling your feet. Feel them become heavy, relaxed, and completely at ease. This warm, heavy sensation travels up into your ankles, your calves, and your shins. All the muscles that helped you stand and walk today can now completely let go. Feel this wave of relaxation move into your knees and up into your thighs. Your legs feel wonderfully heavy, anchored to the bed, sinking into a state of profound rest. This gentle warmth now pools in your hips and pelvis, releasing any tightness held there. Allow this soothing wave to flow up your spine, vertebra by vertebra. Feel your lower back, your middle back, and your upper back release and soften. Your entire back is supported, and you can let go of the posture you've held all day. The warmth spreads across your stomach and your chest. With each breath, you feel your chest rise and fall with ease. Your heart beats in a slow, steady, peaceful rhythm. The relaxation flows down your arms, from your shoulders to your fingertips. Your arms, which have reached and carried and worked so hard, now lie heavy and still. Let your shoulders drop away from your ears, releasing a commonplace of stress. Your neck softens, and your head feels perfectly supported. Finally, this wave of deep relaxation washes over your face. Allow your jaw to unclench, your tongue to rest softly in your mouth. Let your cheeks soften, your eyes rest gently behind your closed lids.